Nice. Oh, Dusk is pretty good.
Yeah, he's this he 3-0s me, but he keeps like just clutching up on me like really hard over and over again. I've had enough. I've had enough.
Mm-hmm. Very understandable. Okay. Well, do you have any thoughts on Falcon?
Um, a little bit, yeah. Like when I kind of like first started like my melee improvement journey as like a wee lad, this
Mm-hmm.
was my like best matchup. Um, and like it's taken me like kind of far, just like this knowledge from forever ago, and just kind of playing on top of it. Like a lot of my best wins are in like against Falco, but then I play against like certain Falcos that like really know what I want and are just like as good or better at the matchup. And I just like it's like full like ego death. Like I don't uh I just need like I don't know how to say uh like kind of a revival in this being my best matchup. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely get that. Seems like you might want something like a fresh start or maybe a new way to look at it. Just something kind of like a
Yes.
revamp, the way you view the
Yes.
matchup. Yeah, yeah. Um, that makes sense. I guess, do you feel like with you specifically, do you have any like issues pertaining to it or like things that really stick out as like problematic when fighting Falco specifically? It could also be, larger game things like I just suck at this in general and it just is hard to deal with, anything like that.
Um, I cannot edge guard like Matthew Matos in specific.
Mm-hmm.
I think like you'll see this set. I think like there's honestly like oh he has like a mental thing going on with me. Um, but that's like so like I don't know. I feel like there's like gonna be like some spot here where it's just like really egregiously I'm messing up on the edge guard in this kind of like one way I'm like not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and um, I don't know. I've also been like I was just like I've been trying to get back on the power shield wave. But I kind of like there's a lot of like laser scenarios that I've just kind of been losing recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I have a really hard time um like if I get lasered at like certain close distances, it's really kind of just over.
Mm-hmm.
Um you'll see. I feel like
Yeah.
there's like a few spots against Falco I'm just kind of getting checkmated on.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I think Falcon definitely has a lot of trouble. Like once you get to the bad spot, it's like, oh my god, my life is over.
Dude,
And I think it's
it's so
really
sweet
hard to
until
tell.
there.
Yeah. But that makes perfect sense. Okay, cool. I guess we could just get into watching. One thing I normally do with first lessons is since I haven't seen you play, and I don't really know kind of where you're at, I'm gonna spend some portion of the first game kind of just watching, not talking, so I could kind of like gather my thoughts and all the like. Um,
Cool. The first
and
game's pretty bad.
I'll keep that in mind. And obviously, if you have thoughts about the match, you're welcome to share, and I'd want to hear them. I'm probably gonna end up asking questions, too. So we'll get there. Let me start the stream really quickly. Cool. Let me know once you can see it.
I'm in.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Right there was one of those spots I'm referring to that I was kind of losing to laser.
Yeah, getting lasered that close is kind of like it feels kind of hopeless, but I think there's a few things you can do. Oh, nice. Oh, that is insane.
Uh I hate this guy so much, man. That's my boy, but I fucking hate this guy.
Oh man, and then this has just been the worst game. I
Yeah,
definitely see what you mean. I feel like the first knock was going pretty well, and then bad thing after bad thing just kept happening. Uh,
yeah.
I do think there is probably there are things you could have done to like prevent um the world falling apart, but I think it is pretty understandable that all this stuff all this stuff going wrong is like pretty reasonable. All right. Okay. So, I have some thoughts watching initially, and I think that like baseline things you do where it's like, okay, sometimes I'll take laser and then play out the mix up. Sometimes I'll shield the laser and jump to side platform. Sometimes, if I'm at the like a little bit further than like a dash dance range, then taking laser and naring or shooting laser and naring's good because it catches them being aggressive for free. Um, and like sometimes you jump over lasers, but I think the biggest things going wrong are it's like when, and I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like there are times when Falco might not necessarily have a laser out, and you're kind of like throwing yourself at him as fast as possible. And a lot of the time, you kind of just got clipped or ended up landing with an aerial and being in lag, and then being like, well, fuck, maybe I'm just gonna get lasered anyways, or something not that desirable. And I think like, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's something that happens when you play?
Yeah, I feel like uh like definitely how to phrase this. I feel like I'm really good. Like so much of my Falco knowledge and like routine against Falco is based around like the mobs of Falcos that will just laser you 100 times without thinking
Mm,
about it. And then I play someone that can actually look at the screen a little bit more and
yeah.
they just like won't always laser and I just throw myself as soon as they're not and I just get up tilted and like so definitely.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also think there's a lot of spots where I think you were a bit hesitant to shield. Like the spots where you're like close and it's kind of awkward and you feel like you're getting checkmated. It's like that's a spot where you like almost absolutely have to shield. Like sometimes you could jab if you want to like kind of get cheesy with it, or maybe he's further away than he'd think he would be. But generally, it's like you just kind of have to shield and roll away and take the pressure. And I think a
Mhm.
lot of the time you're like, oh, I'm gonna try and dash. I'm gonna try and like do something more, and it's like at some point, every character, if they're close enough to Falco and get lasered, they can't do anything but shield. They're just kind of in a bad spot. Um,
Or
and I think like maybe there's something to say about being more diligent about avoiding those spots. Like maybe if you feel like Falco's gonna get close to you, instead of like maybe dash dancing, you spend time like double jumping and trying to space like a bear. And so it's like if he does move forward, oh, he'd be running into a bear. And if not, you're doing something that's relatively safe, right? Obviously, he could wait it out and maybe something bad might happen, but you know. Um, but yeah, I think overall the way that you're playing the matchup is like pretty reasonable, but there just needs to be more spots where you're like, okay, I'm gonna like chill here. Even if the Falco's not lasering, even if like, even if you kind of want something to happen, like you being willing to turn your back and just like bear in some way, whether it's like double jump bear, short hop bear, backflip bear, all the different ways. Just like something where you like take your time and make him either get hit by you moving forward or nothing happens, I think will help a lot.
cool.
Um,
I love doing that against Fox, so
yeah, I think it's
as
great against Falco. It's like if you're gonna get lasered anyways, why not have a safe back air coming out? It can't be too bad.
might as well die by the blade.
Yeah, and I think and in the spots where it's like Falco's not lasering and you want to like still apply pressure, you just dashing is enough to make him be like, oh, Falcon's doing something. So you might get like an up tilt and dash dance grabbing it, or you might get like he dashes back into the corner, you dash forward. Guess what? He has so much less space to like avoid nair or maybe set up a laser right. Um, or maybe you dash forward and he's like, oh, I got him. So we like approaching lasers and you're just like jumping over it already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, those are most of my thoughts. How do you feel about it? You think sounds reasonable? Sounds
Yeah, that sounds yeah.
so okay. Well then, let's go back through now, taking our time more. Nice. All pretty normal. Definitely tried it there. I think so this is all great. And then you end up crossing up with him. I like the empty land here because it lets you pressure. And you tried to pressure because you wanted to do dash back there. But I think this is like a good spot to like be willing to like jump here. Because if you do like double jump, you could either double jump drift in and pressure him like dash jetting here, or maybe trying to laser here if he's greedy. Or what if you just like drift a side platform, right? And like Falco can't really stop you from doing that. Or what if you like double jump right here and make it look like you're gonna land on side plat, but then you actually land on the ground, empty land, and then you like dash towards Falco, you know?
Yeah,
That
platform makes is something since this VOD that I've been trying to work on a lot recently.
yeah.
Like ideal me right now, like I can go for like turn around, like teeter wave land on the plat, and then like all sorts like that whole
Mm-hmm.
thing, and like something I've been trying to incorporate a lot more.
Yeah, I
So,
think that's really good. And nice. Sounds like you're making good progress then. Um yeah.
mind you, I'm still bad at all this. What you're saying is completely true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the hard part is figuring out what the thing you want to do is, not practicing it. So I think you're making good progress.
Or
Oh, that grab was super greedy.
it's a bad habit of mine.
Yeah. I think you saw him shield and you were like, oh, I got him. And then he just, I don't know, fumbled something and ended up flying away. But I don't know. I think a big part of what makes Falcon able to like play the matchup well and kind of do stuff is that like you can like, if you can ever scope out Falco being in the air, you got him. Like that's your best opening, you know?
Yeah.
And like here, I think maybe if you're willing to like wait a bit more, you could see that he gets full hop and literally just run up air. And it's like, what's he gonna do about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to do that obviously because you know you don't want to be on the ground because you're getting lasered, you're dealing with pressure. But like I think when you are on the ground, that's like one of like two things you're looking for. It's like you're either looking for the Falco to like jump in a way that he probably shouldn't have, maybe double jumping erratically or something, or you're catching him like doing lazy lasers. And so it's like, oh, maybe you get to like, you know, power shield, dash up power shield laser because he's doing a lazy one, and then you get that like power shield laser grab or something. Or like maybe he like does the lazy approaching laser and you do take laser gentleman and then you get, you know, gentleman tech chase, and that's, you know, pretty good, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think those are definitely the two biggest things to think about when you're like fighting Falco from the ground, because it just makes it so much simpler.
Gentleman tech chase is speaking my language. If there's one thing you should know about me, I love tech chasing.
Nice. Oh.
I didn't get it. No.
Yeah, I appreciate the try to have your rapid jab catch him out of the air.
Gotta die by the blade, man.
Yeah. I think man, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shield and wait for this Falco to do some bad pressure and shield grab it, but then you end up in this position, and it's like you could have rolled like 7 hits ago, you know? And I think sometimes biting, just like, you know, biting the bull in is like, okay, fuck it, I'll roll, I guess I'll roll. And just like rolling away will help a lot. I think Falco's not that great at covering roll away.
So slow.
I know, yeah. If he wants to cover roll away, he has to like really read you and like, you know, run up to you and something like, he has to like preemptively do it essentially, which is, I'd rather have someone have to go out of their way to read me than to just like get to do it automatically, you know, or give them free shield pressure or something of the like. Oh yeah, and here I think here's
The
a
worst
spot.
snare of all time.
Yeah, it's like you like try and jump. There's a few things that kind of went wrong where it's like, okay, this is pretty chill, and then you jump here, which is like, I don't really see what it's meant to be, because it's like if Falco's gonna be like doing something after forward throwing you in the corner, it's probably gonna be fast enough to just like hit you, and if he's gonna be like pressuring you, he'd probably be back here or up here. And so then the knee just like, oh look, he's up there. And it's like the knee just like, oh man, he's just gonna come down on top of you and you're gonna like eat a bunch of damage. And then here I feel like this is one of the spots I was talking about before the match where it was like, you know, you kind of just have to shield and like hold your ground. Whether it's like you can hold down in CC, which I think is really good in the awkward scrambles against Falco because he's too far to like shine you a lot of the time. And so crouch becomes way better if you don't have to worry about, you know, getting hit by shine. And then shielding is pretty fine here too because he probably hits this AC bear on your shield. Guess what? You either fall the ledge and get to like ledge dash, which is pretty chill, or you stay on stage and get to shield grab it, right? And this is like
Love
he's
the shield grab.
yeah, and he's just like kind of giving you opportunities, and I think that's also a big part of Falco Falcon is you're also kind of just looking for the small spots where Falco gives you something because you're not really gonna like. It's hard for you to like make things happen, you know. And so,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you spend your time paying attention to like the spots where like, oh, this is a danger zone for Falco. If he does this thing, it's over, you know. And if you're like checking here, you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna crouch, and if he AC bears, then I could jab and gentleman under the crouch get the tech chase. Or if you're shielding, you see the AC bear, you're like, okay, shield grab, and it's over, right? Yeah, and then obviously the nair probably wasn't too great. Oh, yeah, another spot. I think these uppers are kind of greedy, but it's probably not too big of a deal. But once you get to this spot, this is like one of the most like super clear like I got Falco spots. It's like you're checking them. It's like if you like kind of accidentally jump into a dare or something, and you're in the scramble, or you're like shielding a shine, and he's like he's not sure what's gonna happen. You're not sure what's gonna happen. Hold shield and check if he's AC bearing, because this is like a lot of Falcos just kind of do it in scrambles when they have their back turned to you, and if you could shield it, it's a shield grab, and that's like your best opening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? He AC bared, and you're trying to narrow the shield, and it's like you kind of just like threw away your opportunity. And now you're probably going to get AC bear shined or AC bear pressured, and it's going to be pretty bad, you know? Yeah. Good DI, though. Oh, you missed the shield grab on that F smash. Good roll. Yeah, I think a lot of the time on defense, something important is that like you're generally not gonna be able to like act first. You're probably gonna have to wait for Falco to do something that you like get to defend against now that you've seen it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think Falcon just doesn't have fast enough options to be like, okay, I realize this scramble's gonna happen. Let me attack. You really just have to wait and let them attack first, and like be aware of like the aggressive things they might try and do, and then if they give you an out, like maybe they move back to center stage, be proactive about like using that space to like regain control, not control, but like safety. You don't want to always be in the mix, you know.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, good roll. I think this nair is kind of greedy. It's like that's fine. You get out, and then you're shielding, and then you nair and drift forward, and it's like I feel like if I'm you in this spot, the things that I'm worried about when I like decide to do that nair, it's like, okay, will he AC bear? If so, me doing the nair first will catch him, jumping and drifting towards me. Um, will he dash away? And will he jump to side platform? And so nair, you nairing right here, where either in place or whatever, it's pretty chill because you hit platform here and you hit him trying to AC bear, and if he dashes away, no harm, right? It's like so what? But then when you drift forward like this, him like going to the platform, you might hit that, but him like jumping above it, look at where you're at. You're just like directly under him now, and it's like, I don't want to like you didn't end up getting hit, but like it feels very sus to like move into Falco like that, you know?
It's way more scary than it has any business being.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think you necessarily gained anything from drifting forward with that nair that like you nairing in place wouldn't have gotten, you know? It's like they did the same exact thing, but now instead of you being here and being able to dash back towards center because he has to like transition from here to here, he now gets to transition from up here straight down. And so now there's no like time spent moving horizontally. It ends up being fine, but I think there's definitely a world where he double jumps here empty lands on the ground and starts dashing towards you, and you just like kind of get stuck. I don't think you get hit necessarily, but you end up in a pretty undesirable position. But if you're starting your dash and stuff from right here, from back here, he will never catch you. And so then you doing dash back short hop or something would just demolish him doing like the double jump empty land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this is a spot where I think you knew that he didn't have a laser out, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get him, but it's like if you wait for him to jump like that, if you're it's like the way that I kind of see it in my head is that when Falco doesn't have a laser out, the things that he is worried about are it's you being aggressive. And so Falcon, if you know that he's gonna think about you being aggressive and try and stop it, you have to worry now about his defensive options. And so his defensive options for that would be shielding, jumping, and dashing away, right? And so in my mind, it's like him dashing away doesn't really matter, nothing. I don't lose anything by him dashing away. Him jumping is something that I can interact with, and him shielding is probably not the most desirable position for him, just because he doesn't have as many movement options to get out of the way, right?
Yeah.
And so now that I'm thinking about those things, I'm probably like standing here after the spare thinking, okay, I'm going to dash dance and pay attention if he jumps or shields. And then once you see him jump, instead of like you already naring and then end up like in the corner when you had center, is, oh, he's double jumping, boom, upper him out of the air. He, is probably going to die. Right? And that's like that's the value of waiting in the spots where Falco doesn't have a laser out. Since he doesn't have a laser about, he's vulnerable, and now he wants to defend himself. And it also kind of goes back to the initial thing of if man, what was the point I was gonna make? I completely forgot. Regardless, it's very important for if Falco doesn't have a laser out, how you play that and get real pressure. Oh, good try. It was close. I think if you want to cover like the early double jump and still be safe, something good to do so you don't have to spend time like walking or wave dashing is after you hit this double jump or this gentleman, you instant double jump and then do a falling soft knee and land right at the edge of the stage. And so then it covers the same double jump that you were trying to, but you hit the ground significantly earlier. And so then if he does the side B, you could actually like shield it or maybe do dash back shield so you're closer, right?
Yeah.
It's like a small thing and it's not the most important, but like, might as well mention it. It's like you probably lose the stock soon because of it. Okay, you got out, so it's lit, but it ended up being pretty sus. After the snare, when he doesn't have a double jump, you could pretty safely just short hop forward and then knee and then fall off the stage. Because if he side Bs at any of the different side Bs, he's going to get hit by the knee. And if he up Bs here, you could react out of your knee and then do like double jump up air.
True.
Yeah. And that's why like the Wizzy stuff is good, is a lot of the time when he does the knees, he does them at timings that like would cut off every possible side B. And so then when the person is up Bing, it's like, well, I'm just going to, up air him out of the air. Pretty easy. Oh, and then, of course, the greatest F smash of all time.
Hate this guy, man.
Yeah, that was sickening. Oh, yeah, I think something about whenever you are like, you're like, okay, I'm gonna up air the Falco on the ground, you like go into a mode. Because this is the second time where I've seen you like up air and been like, okay, I'm gonna keep up airing. But like, you probably only have to up air once and then you get to go back to neutral. It's like, boom, I'm gonna up air, you realize he's like behind you, maybe I'm gonna jump to side platform, maybe I'll dash away. But then you up air again, it's like, oh my gosh. And then look at this. Now Falco's, double jump daring on top of your shield in the corner. Probably not the best. And then, yeah, that just happens. I don't have much to say.
Neither do I, man.
Yeah, that just sometimes you lose the 50-50. Good bear. Nice. I think after hitting this bear, this is a spot where you could potentially threaten jumping off. Or something that you could do is, I think, preemptively covering side B. So like doing run off double jump nair and then grabbing ledge for delayed side Bs or up Bs would be good. Because I think if he were down to like let the side B rip here or maybe here, he'd end up on stage. And so then it's kind of like the same position as before, where you're on ledge, he's up, or side being on the stage, and it's kind of awkward, you know.
Yeah.
But you got it, so we love to see it. Nice. Uh, yeah, I think that's another spot where you might just have to roll. It's like you don't. There's nothing you could really do. I think stomping on a shield is better in spots where like, if I had to say concretely, I think it's better in spots where you see them aerial your shield. If you see them shine your shield, I'm more down to wait and like just keep holding shield and maybe do something after. But if I see them aerial my shield, I'm down to stomp on a shield because I'm thinking a shine might come after, and that would be the
Yeah.
thing that the stomp hits. You know. So, oh, didn't play the mix up. When you realize this snare doesn't hit, you can't like, you just kind of have to dash dance right here and wait for Falcon to whiff something. Because a lot of the times Falcons are going to AC bear a shield. I would put money on Dusk AC bearing right now. Yes.
Oh.
Right? It's like that's kind of just what happens once you like whiff past. And so imagine this is a spot where it's like you might get Falco, you realize you only hit one hit in there, you dash back, you do a long one, he AC bears, boom, free grab, tech chase. You got him. And nice. This deal was a good idea, but I think if you're gonna do it, you have to short hop like and end up right here and be fast falling immediately. You can't like delay it because I think you let it hang for a while, but the reason why you would go super fast there and fast fall immediately compared to letting it hang is that the like angles that he could like end up at from his like either side B or up B are significantly less. You would decide not to fast fall if he could side B here, 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 all the different heights from like there, right? And you want to
Yeah.
cover those. But since he can only really side B around here, the rest it's like you just need to cover that in that one instance and be able to up B as fast as possible. If he does decide not to side B, you know? You die here. Oh, that's rough. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. It's that game, honestly, in terms of neutral, did not go bad. I think neutral was pretty fine. It's literally just that I think a lot of unfortunate things happened that were semi out of your control kind of just occurred. It's like, okay, reverse forward smash. Man, I don't really have anything to say about that. Or like you getting dared at 0% when you're trying to like double jump sweet spot. It's like, okay, he actually just read you. And I don't think the read he went for was that great given the risk reward. Or it's like, you know, oh, you like mess up your tech skill when you're trying to double jump on stage from ledge and he just like kind of hits you and it's like, okay, so be it. But neutral wise, I mean, a lot of the things did go well, but I feel like if there were more of the spots where you were catching Falco when he's kind of like doing the bad thing he shouldn't be doing, even a game like that where a lot of things went wrong probably would have been pretty close, you know.
Yeah. Maybe a lot of those things wouldn't have gone wrong, if I was grabbing him instead of getting AC Barrett.
Yeah, maybe because I think like there, I think it came up like 5-ish times, and it's like 5 times is enough to at least take 2 stocks, you know. You could
Yeah.
definitely make that work. And adding the edge guards on top of that could have been a game you win, even with all the dumb things happening. Um,
You said it.
yeah. Do you have any other thoughts? Do you feel like everything made sense and whatnot?
I'm following.
Nice, nice. We could go into the next game, and it'll be better. Oh, And I'm so surprised he was just up tilting. But honestly, I kind of
He knows I want the dash grab. Like we play a lot, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah, I think I kind of feel like something that would benefit you a lot is when you see these spots where Falco's like, defending himself without a laser, just changing your attitude to being like, I'm gonna pressure Falco instead of like, I'm gonna get the hit. It just ends up being so much easier because Falcon's pretty good at pressuring Falco when he doesn't have a laser out. That's why Falco's whole thing is I gotta make sure I get the laser out and then I start winning. But if he doesn't have it out, even you just like double jumping here, even if you don't like directly whiff punish to the up tilt, he's whiffing an up tilt, and you could just dash up grab that. And so he's like, fuck, maybe I have to spot dodge. And then you get to maybe really spot dodge, right? It's like that's how
Yeah.
all of the good situations for you arise, is from you waiting near him and then him needing to defend himself because run up grab, like you're trying to do, is on the table, you know? Nice. Good grab. Oh, good try. Gotta roll. Definitely rolling more when you're shielding too would help a lot. Good knee. Nice. See, look at that. Look at how terrified he is. Look at you space this burn a shield. He just starts fumbling. Double jump bear, AC bear. Oh my god. He's just like kind of doing things as fast as possible to prevent you from hitting him, and you just get a free hit for it. That was pretty easy. Dash
So
and
free.
side V, not hard. And he just gave it to you. He didn't do anything difficult to deal with. It's like, imagine if you were even more like on about it and you're like, I'm gonna really, really try hard to read this. You get to dash dance grab this for free. And maybe you get a better combo. I'm not sure. Side B is really good too, so I don't necessarily feel bad about you hitting that. But
I never thought that in the lesson I'd be told to shield grab and side B more.
yeah, that's how those are good options.
That's what I've been saying this whole time, man.
Yeah. I definitely think if you are going to shield grab more, it has to be really specific. You can't just really throw it out. You have to really be like, okay, I'm going to shield grab this AC bear, or this is like the highest dare possible. Let me AC grab or shield grab it.
Yeah. Hyperbole, of course.
Yeah. Oh my god, how did that even happen? Why am I feel like my keyboard controls are not working. Yeah, let me restart this really quickly. For some reason, it won't let me like pause or go back with my keyboard.
I hit the lab, man.
Why isn't my keyboard working at all? What the hell? Oh my gosh. I think it might have unplugged from the back of my computer. Okay, it definitely did. Okay, I'm gonna restart the stream right now. Okay, that's my bad. Yeah, okay, here we are. Yeah. The other spot where he doesn't have the laser out, he kind of just throws out something haphazardly, and there you are running into it. It's like, you gotta make him work for it a bit. That's the secret. If you make Falco work for it, every Falco you play will be like, dude, how do I beat Falcon? Oh, that's unfortunate. Nice. I like the way you play the platform. Nice. Oh, you might have. I think. I wonder how many people tech that. Because my brain definitely told me that he was going to miss tech, but I don't know why I felt like he was going to miss tech. Do you feel like when you down tilt people off that devil lasers that they like tech the down tilt often?
No, right there, I'm usually like, honestly, like he's kind of high percent. I guess I down tilted him probably like 60 something.
Yeah.
But usually like at like that percent range, I'm expecting to get like he doesn't even hit the ground. I'm expecting like get like an instant up air and kill him.
Uh huh.
Um, I think I was just not even ready to play like a tech mix up.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Um, okay. Well, I think after this down tilt, a lot of Falcons end up missing the tech because they're trying to like double laser shield. And if you're just like, I'm gonna knee because you think he's gonna miss tech, he's dead. And that's like a super free kill off of your reading double lasers. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. I think deciding to grab ledge here is reasonable, but when you do this double jump, instead of kneeing, if you wave land, you land in time to like grab. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that ends up being pretty big for the times when you want to like really, really read like fall side B to ledge. And then you end up seeing these side Bs like this, you could always like wave land grab it. You have enough time. Nice. Nice. This is really good. Nice. I like this. Dude, look at how many moves he's done just in place, you know? And there's not been like a single amount of like intention with any of them. He's just kind of heat tracking you. It's like, oh, he saw you near him, full hop nair. Oh, coming out with a dare, he sees you near him, up tilt. Oh, you didn't get hit by the up tilt? Guess I'm gonna AC bear near you. Up tilt again, right? Like he literally just did like 5 actions in a row without any like specific intent, just because you were close to him and he didn't have a laser out. And I think being able to recognize these spots as like, okay, Falco is now like trying to prevent me from doing something without a laser. If you could see them, these up tilts get need every time. Or these AC bears get dash dance grabbed every time. Or, I mean, you also should mix them here super duper hard, but slightly misexecuted on the knee. But like, right after, you forward tilted him when he was just kind of like moving at a shield haphazardly. And it's like that's how it should feel against Falcos like this more often. You want it to be like, ooh, I am moving on this guy so hard, and he's just whiffing into nothing over and over. Like that's what it should feel like against the Falco who's like not really respecting Falcon, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, going to the ground there is kind of lazy. Like you're on the side platform and you really weren't at risk of anything. Worst case, you get to shield, but it's like, shooting on the platform is not too bad. Getting down and on the ground is the worst case scenario, though. That position's awkward.
No.
And then you just get dared. Sad.
I should have get a protect there. Massively greedy.
Yeah. Oh, another time where you kind of start going into up air mode. If you're like, instead of doing the second up air, if you're dash dancing, this was the most obvious and really bad shield drop there. It's like up air dash dance. Oh, you could see that coming from a mile away and grab it, you know? Worst case, you wave dash down next to him and he starts fumbling, he starts mashing, get a free grab with an AC bear or an up tilt, you know? It's like it always comes back around to once the Falco does something newbie, he can't laser anymore and he's gonna keep defending like that, you know? Nice.
Outplayed, dude.
Yeah, we take those. Oh, you threw yourself into the spacing where you can't really like shield, or where you can't really like stop, right? I definitely think you've been using platforms a good amount, but I would honestly say use them even more. Oh no. Oh no.
It's not fair, man.
How'd that even happen? I can't even like. I do think wave dash there might be a pretty greedy option, just because like the entire action of like wave dash plus nair is like, man, it's probably like 40 something frames total, maybe.
It's 2 super fake options.
Yeah, it's like pretty long, and so it just gives Falco enough time. He's not even like trying to hit you doing that specifically, but it lets him get a button down time, and his buttons generally tend to beat yours. So it's like, damn. When you do those two options together, it just kind of like blows up the spot. I think wave dash dash is really good, or like nair alone. They're both good individually, but like adding 2 slow options together doesn't give you a fast one, you know? Yeah, man, recovering against Falco is so hard.
Like David versus Goliath in this shit, man.
It really is. It really is. Uh, yeah, another spot where it's like chill out, take your time, and let him do his thing first. A lot of the time, I think in this matchup, it's kind of weird because I don't think it's like this for other matchups for Falcon, but this is one of the matchups where I think you're generally going to be waiting for him to do something first. I think normally as Falcon, it's your job to like do something first, but Falco, if he doesn't have a laser out, you have no reason to do anything first. What's he gonna do? Fox running shine you? Fox run up smash you? Probably not. You know, you get to chill a bit more. Nice. Oh no.
The move is huge, man.
Yeah, I think this stomp was kind of greedy, honestly. I don't think there's many ways that it would have hit because it's like you end up on the platform. The stomp would only really hit if he like did some delay short hop aerial under the platform. But there's not really any reason for him to do that because it's like he saw you on the side platform, right?
Yeah.
I think Falcon gets to go for big reads against Falco, but I think kind of have to be a bit more specific and like look a lot at like the risk reward for it and stuff.
It's a good way of putting it.
You know. Okay, I actually think. Well, I guess before I go on, um, how do you feel about all the stuff you've been talking about? Do you think it makes sense and that it's like explicit enough for you to feel like you could realize it while like maybe watching otherwise or maybe playing?
Yeah. No, a lot of this stuff too is like I was like kind of getting coaching from Mateo for like a second. Like we did a few lessons. It was just kind of hard to pin him down, so I ended up switching. Like you're like like being able to like reserve the spot in the calendar really goes a long way.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of like what we're talking about is kind of in the same vein of what I was working on with him. Except it's just like okay, like how do I do this against Falco? Which is like exactly kind of lines up with like what I think needs to be happening for me. So it all
Mm-hmm.
makes a lot of sense. I feel like a lot of like my faults in gameplay is it's like I have the like punish game and like gamer ability to like beat good players, but a lot of times I mean good is so relative, right? But
Mm-hmm.
um how to say a lot of times it just comes down to these like bad unsure like reads and shit and like like a lot of these like small little moments that I just make like a really bad choice. So it just helps a lot like we're doing now, just kind of going through and just kind of talking about them all, kind of like how I should be looking at these spots in my mind.
Nice, nice. Yeah. I'm glad it's useful, and I think I actually want to show you a top Falcon doing it. I think Johnny SUJ is pretty good against Falcons because he always like takes it. There's not very many times where Falco's like in a spot where he could be pressured and he isn't there like doing a good job kind of checking him, you know. And I think watching him do it would really like make it clear when those spots are coming up, and like working with it. I want to watch him against a not too great Falco specifically.
Which Falco was shooting shots at? Who's not too great?
I mean, let's go to vods.co. I just found this
Oh,
website recently. Sickest website ever. I just get to look up a
Knower,
player and a character and matchup, and this is so easy.
Knower, who used to listen with another roommate of mine. He put me on. I finally like looked at it last night. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa.
Yeah, no, it's sick. All right, perfect. Tammy and Pools. Sorry, Tammy, but Pools Falcos is what we need.
I'm calling up Tammy right now, dog.
No, please. It's just for a lesson. All right, let's see. All right. Nice. I like this already. So cool. The wave land off the platform is totally chill. But once he realized that's like, ooh, Falco's now like kind of potentially scared, he's more down to kind of like do something that's a bit more like reactive, I guess. So he does the double jump and it lets him like check kind of what's going on. Maybe Falco's on the ground and he wants to bear, or maybe Falco's staying on the platform and he, would. I thought he would empty land shield here. Honestly, I don't think the up air was that great, but he kind of picks
Especially the
something that,
reverse up air.
yeah. think
But yeah, I
reverse
totally
up
see
is
what you're
not too
saying.
great. But yeah, it like gives him a thing to react to. And I like that. Off most of the lasers, he's going to side platform, which is pretty good. I'm surprised that Falco did jump. Laser jump shine there does not make any sense. But okay. Happens. I like the
That's like
rolls.
the rando Falco curse, dude. They just do something.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of
Played this
wish it was
Falco at the
over.
weekly. He just took like the first stock. He just dash attacked like 7 times, and I was like, no, like what's going on, bro?
Why are you what is happening up there to make the dash tags come out down
Yes.
here? Nice. I like how much he rolls. I again look at this. He's doing the double jump stuff I was talking about, right? Where it's like you double jumping when Falco can't laser is just like you get to check, and maybe you hit him, maybe you don't. But guess what? The Falco's doing. Falco doesn't have a laser out.
You
AC
just can't
bear up
win.
tilt,
Yep.
dash away. And it's like okay, you see now he's in the mix. Okay, jab battles. Nice.
I love Johnny Kim, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's sick. Look at that. First stock, pretty easy. Oh, great. He comes down, he rolls, and he's like, oh, Falco's in the air, free up air, and Falco didn't drift into it. But guess what? No harm, no foul. Doesn't matter. He gets to just go back to neutral, right? And I like how something that I think is pretty big is that we've only watched 50 seconds, 40 seconds, or whatever, but I haven't seen him do a single approaching there, right? And it's like he's not worried about going full screen and like taking hits against Falco. He's just kind of like taking his time, moving over when he can, and then like
Encroaching on him a bit.
yeah, it's like that's how he's getting his hits, and I think that's how Falcon, generally should get his hits because like when you think about it, how would approaching Nair even hit? What would have to happen for it to hit Falco? Maybe he'd have to jump into it. Maybe he'd have to like, get hit on the ground and miss a CC. But those are like assuming that he's like making a mistake. If he's getting hit on the ground, probably means he, missed a reaction and meant to shield. Or it's like if he's getting hit into the air, probably meant that he wasn't like up tilting already or like AC bearing early, which he doesn't really have any reason not to if he's gonna jump, right? It's like all the times when he gets hit by approaching there kind of meant that he misjudged something rather than like I think you kind of hit him, right?
Yeah.
And I think recognizing that's going to be super duper big because it's like you'd think every other character doing like approaching there makes sense. It's normal. It's a real thing that they're gonna have to deal with. But Falco, it's just like all the things he does, just like kind of interact well with it. Shield works great. AC Bro works great. Up tilt works great. And if he's not doing any of those things, then he's misjudging, right? Because otherwise he'd be lasering you out of the air. And it's like okay, it is what it is. Nice. Oh, this is all great. After hitting the bear, he doesn't do anything. He's just chilling. And bears again makes Falco, run into it. He drops the edge guard. I'm not really sure he should have dropped this one. Yeah, this is definitely a spot where I think doing the Wizzy short hop fastball knee would be good. Hit this knee, wait a second, without dashing or anything, just short hop forward and knee fastball. And it just kind of hits Falco double jumping in this spot. It hits Falco doing this in this spot. And if he does like double jump away, you could just do what's it called? Double jump up air on reaction. It's like pretty chill if you do the Wizzy knee there. I think watching Wizzy for edge guards is a very good idea. I think he's pretty good at most of the edge guard flowcharts.
I love watching Wizzy. I'm like very. I'll spare the details, but like very direct Wizzy spawn.
Nice. I think Wizzy's very good.
He's the best player alive, bro. That's what I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh, look. The one time he does approaching Nair, guess what happens? One of the three things happened, right? AC Bear. And it's like, it just doesn't really work that often. Nice. Man, I don't feel like this outro was that good either.
Save the line.
Yeah, this is also probably another position to just do the Wizzy knee. And I think this one specifically, you wouldn't fast fall instantly. You would like delay your fast fall because of how high he is, right? Or how high he was when he would have gone on a hit stun. He would have gone on a hit stun probably around like here-ish. and he could have double jumped side B to like here, and so that's why you do like no fast fall at first, short hop knee off stage, and then missing that's really bad. You just have to bear. Nice knee.
Awesome combo.
Yeah, easy clap. Nice, good roll. Go to platform. Look at him. He just ignores Falco so often. Like you'd think hits a power shield. He's like trying to power shield. He's not doing the power shield to like set pressure up. He's like, I got to get to center stage. I need to play a good position out. And guess what he does? Shield, roll, shield, jump to platform, run to the ground. And it's like, if you can avoid Falco and safely get to the center, that means Falco probably doesn't have time to get a laser out. And guess what? Now you get to set up pressure, baby. And it's like, oh, he got a free nair. It's not like he hit the nair, but he got a free nair that Falco had to like worry about. And that means that now, in this mix-up, maybe he does dash back power shield. Or maybe, instead of dashing back, he was double jumping right here and stomping on top of the approaching laser, right? And you
He gets to do something, though.
Yeah. You see how the mix-up sprawls out so much more once this starts being, like, the baseline for these situations, you know? That's really what we want. Nice. I think this nair ended up being better. Just because since Falco is specifically on side platform or would be jumping the platform, it's like he can't really stop you if he's already jumped. And then it's like if he goes to platform, he's just gonna get clipped and you end up in center pretty safely. I like that after the nair, instead of like kind of committing to anything, he dash dances and then sets up pressure with Bear. Ends up pretty chill. No.
Oh my god.
Can't believe you went for a read there.
Everything before the read was so awesome, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's been playing pretty well. I think there's some things he's kind of being lazy about. This is the spacing where in the first game you got the narrative shield. And it's like this is a spacing where you can attack at a shield. And it's not going to be like super greedy because it's like if your nair comes out before he could hit you, and so it's like if that's the case, then you can nair safely, right? But then there's sometimes when you get too far away where your nair can't hit him at all if he moves forward even. And so this is like the sweet spot spacing for doing that. And Johnny recognizes it immediately and gets a free nair and probably should have killed the Falco, I think, if he didn't mess up. Nice. I like this. Looks just like a normal like read roll. But the reason why he's able to read roll here is Falco doesn't have a laser out and he's scared about something bad happening, and so he chills and just gets the cover roll for free. And it's like pretty, from Falco's perspective, it is pretty hard for him to like ever actually punish you for going for this knee. Like if he decides not to like roll, he just stands up. You'd have to time a like approaching laser or something pretty specifically to actually whiff punish this knee. And so it's like, I think it's pretty chill, pretty easy to go for. Oh. Yeah, no, he was just slow jumping out. I think I will say probably not the best jump on the shield. See about this edge guard. Back air. I kind of feel like my hunch says if you do after this, it's like an instant short hop, like back air, you can cover like a lot of the instant side Bs. And then if Falco does like double jump up B or like double jump delayed side B, you could just you're still safe to like double jump out of your bear and grab ledge and then like ledge dash on stage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that would be pretty good. But like the bear he didn't actually cover anything at all. Nice. Oh, he tried to power shield in there. Nice. Falco's above him. Guess what? Free up air. Nice. Good roll. Nice.
The best in the game.
Jump to side platform. Oh, that was a good attempt. And he's dead. Cool. Yeah, I feel like that game Johnny did a lot of the stuff that we talked about, where it was like pressuring Falco and making sure when he doesn't have a laser out, he's scared and actually catching him for it. Using platforms a lot more and like having them be like kind of the baseline of your neutral. When he's shielding, there's very few times where he actually did something out of shield that wasn't just roll or jump to side platform. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is pretty
But he definitely was
important.
like in all those spots where I was not waiting. I just watched him take the extra beat and do the fucking, late ass bear, and like it it worked.
Yeah. And it's like I think something that's also super duper important about playing this way is like how many random situations went poorly for him. Not he didn't just like die kind of randomly because something horrible happened, which is what makes this playstyle also really good. Is it gets rid of a lot of the like RNG cheesy things that Falco just kind of gets away with, you know?
Yeah.
And that's your goal. That's one of the hardest parts for Falcon. You know, it really is.
Yeah, it's all anyone wants to do to him.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is a pretty good match to watch for that. Um,
That's one
otherwise,
thing too. Is like one thing I've like really been trying to work on, like just like mentally like think about it, is like all the times that I like do a bad option and get like quote unquote like RNG cheese. It's like that's like time like the time spent where the Falco is winning is so huge in like the course of the game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And Falcon really doesn't need to win that long to win the game.
yeah, yeah. Take your spots. Something good will probably happen. um, but yeah, I guess we're getting near time, so we could start recapping. We kind of already did that, but the biggest things, I think, to kind of pay attention to are obviously the stuff that we all just covered with platform, waiting for
Oh, hold
Falcon
on, my
using the
headset
laser.
unplugged. Hold
Okay,
on, hold on.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, you good?
Almost.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, nice. So the stuff that we talked about with um waiting a lot more often when you end up in awkward scrambles with Falcon to like check if he does something like an AC bear that's easy to dash and grab or an up tilt that you could like bait out those kind of options or um pressure or hitting Falco when he kind of jumps in those spots where you get to wait for free. If he does like a double jump or full hop, you know, upper is a great thing that you could just clip him with, and it's really hard for him to actually avoid. Um, there's a stuff about using platform a bit more and like taking your time on them instead of coming down super early, stay on them for a while, and wait until Falco does something that makes you feel comfortable coming down from them. Um, stuff about edge guarding. I think we didn't get into the nitty gritty with edge guarding, but we covered some of the more fundamental stuff where it's like if you're gonna do short hop off knee, why we would do that. And so it's like if I'm fast falling, I'd be fast falling because he's like the side B angles that he can do are pretty low. And so I'm more worried about having the opportunity to upbeat a ledge faster or be able to hit him like doing a lower double jump upbeat more easily, right? Or if we're gonna not fast fall, I'm not fast falling because the angle or the up B's or the side, I mean the double jump side B's that he can take are higher, and I want to cover those for longer. And then if he does, you know, double jump up B or do like delay side B, I'm still actionable enough to cover those, and it'll happen. You know, it'll work. It'll line up pretty easily. I think there's this stuff where when you do grab ledge to cover Falco doing like a quick side B to ledge, if you see him side B above, you could double jump wave land on the stage after him and have enough time to what's it called, JC grab him still, which I think is good. Um, and then I mean that was like the gist of it. I think you'll probably learn more just by watching Wizzy do it because he has a lot of small little variations with like percents and whether he's facing forward or not and all the shebang with it. But I think might be useful. And sometimes he jumps further out, and there's also stuff to look at with that. That didn't really come up in the matches we watched, so it's like whatever. And then outside of that, I think there's also the stuff with when you're shielding. I think this might be the final thing. When you're shielding on the ground, your goal isn't necessarily to hit Falco. It's just to like check if he's doing the worst thing possible, like an AC bear that hits your shield really early or a rising dare. Otherwise, probably worry about rolling or wave dashing away, and if you're far enough away, double jumping the platform. Um, did I miss anything?
Um, no, these recap notes line up pretty accurately with the notes I was taking before. So
Nice. Okay, cool. In that
yeah,
case, do you have any thoughts or questions before we end it?
I'm kind of bad at coming up with questions sometimes.
It's
I think
okay.
like I have no everything you told me was true and something I can work on. So I think I'm happy.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, and if you do have any questions at all, you could message me literally whenever. It's my job, so I'm
Cool.
always down to answer questions, and I like talking about melee too. So I'll take any opportunity I can to do that.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. I'll get back to you.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'll set up another lesson soon. It's kind of weird getting on the 2 month thing at like the end of the month.
Yeah, if you want, we could always move that lesson over to the next month. I know how Patreon's
Okay.
weird with like signing up and stuff, and so it's totally reasonable if you want to like do three next month and then go back to two, and it's no big deal.
Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah. Yeah, we'll do. We Georgia, the big Georgia local weekly just died and then undied. So there's not one on Monday. And then I'm going
Mhm.
to Warehouse War, so I don't know how many VODs I'll have. So,
Yeah.
but I probably so we'll triple up next month.
Okay, sounds good. Cool. All right.
Sweet, sweet.
All right
All right,
then.
take it easy, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
no problem. Have a good rest of your week.
You too, bro.
Peace.